Now, yesterday we have got a news that Chinese military has sent one of its ships to the Colombo port. The Colombo port, which was built by the Chinese last year in Sri Lanka, and they are calling it a research ship. Now, everyone knows, everyone who has some level of geopolitics knowledge knows that this is not a research ship. This is a spy ship, and they are going to use it obviously for spying, as they tend to do when it comes to all of these ships in the southeastern China Sea as well as around India as well. That's what they do. And this is not good, considering last week the Maldivian president-elect, now Maldives is on the left side of us. If you look at the map straight, the Maldivian president-elect has already told us to send our military back home, which means that after our military is gone, then Chinese will come there and they will give them money, and then they will build a base there as well. So we'll have Chinese military on our left side as well as our right side. Now that is addition to the Belt and Road Initiative they have going on, because now they have already covered us from our south side, as I said, Maldives, then they have Sri Lanka, and then all these southeastern countries which they have some connection with, to make sure that if there's anything breaks out, if a war kind of situation breaks out of any kind of embargo as well, then they will have support to cut us off from the stream. Now, addition to that, as I said, Belt and Road Initiative, Pakistan as well as some of the old Soviet states like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and all these other countries which kind of surround us, they already made roads there and infrastructure there to make sure that they are in depth of the Chinese military or the Chinese Communist Party. So if there is anything happens, then they can use it as leverage to use it against us. And that is addition to all the problems you have, all the problems they have with the Nepal border as well as the Bhutan border, and then there is the Tibetan region as well. And they are building massively there. They are building infrastructure, they are building roads, they are building offices, they are even making towns in there. They are making Chinese towns on the border or the disputed borders of Nepal, Bhutan as well as Tibet. And they are doing it on our northern side, they are doing it on our southern side, they are basically doing it everywhere. Now, one of the most important things we need to aware about is the chicken neck issue we have with our northern states. Because if you look at the map of India, then there are northeastern states, the Seven Sisters, and then there is this small portion which is called chicken neck, because it's so small that if someone wants to cut off all these northeastern states from India, then they will just have to attack that portion, and then they will have us separated. And even on that border, they are building settlements, they are building roads, they are building infrastructure to make sure their military, their forces, everyone is covered, to make sure if an attack breaks out, then they will have all the resources to make sure that we would fail in that region. And that is the crux of the matter, is that they are covering us from all different sides. They are covering us from the sea, as I told you, with the Maldives and Sri Lanka. They already have the southern Southeast Asian states in their pocket some way or another, except few, because then US is friends with them as well. But then they have some level of grip there. And then obviously, as I told you, the Belt and Road Initiative when it comes to our northern neighbors, even if it's Nepal, it's Bhutan, as well as the ex-Soviet states like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and others as well. So they are trying to surround us, and this is a major national security issue for us. So that's why we need to get our shit straight. We need to make sure that our national security is one of most important things we need to focus on when it comes to next year. We need to make sure we develop better relationship with all of our neighbors. We need to do more, especially when it comes to all these border incursions they have going on. That's really problematic if we don't do that, because if there is a situation where we have to defend ourselves, war breaks out between us and Pakistan as well as us and China, hopefully it does not, but if it comes, then they will have major advantage, and that's the thing.